Most introverts may not be the greatest speakers or presenters, but we are the greatest thinkers, in my honest opinion, which is why it is imperative to take notes as introverts. And so enter the Supernote Nomad A6 X2. So basically, this is basically an electronic notepad that saves all the notes you take, all the journaling you do. And one of the gimmicks for these e-ink tablets are that it writes or feels just like paper. So I've had a remarkable many years ago, I think that was 2021. It was like A4 size and it was pretty good, but I just found it to be probably a bit unusable for its size, you know, and its price as well, which we'll get into in a bit. But I honestly think that these e-notebooks are the future, especially again, you know, as an introvert focused channel. If you're a stereotypical introvert, we are typically thinking, therefore we're writing notes, analyzing stuff, and we might find, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I'm writing notes on a scrap piece of paper here, I'm writing notes on my phone, writing notes on my computer. But to have one place, one central hub for all your ideas and thoughts is great. In fact, let me show you how to navigate the central hub on this. It's still new, so I'm still getting used to it. But the more I use it, the more I find it to be a great device. It just works so well. So there is no real home button here, but it relies upon sliding down to refresh the screen. No, sorry, sliding up to refresh the screen, sliding down to access quick menus and stuff like that. On this side, this is where you can do some undo and redo features. But here you can see the basic notes or folder structures. You know, you can put things into different areas. So for example, here I'm going into, you know, the ideas for this video, for example. You know, you might find a few things blurred out because, yeah, a lot of personal stuff on this tablet. But, you know, it's very useful. And again, if you are, I don't know, maybe you're studying, you're working in fields where you need to write about stuff, you're learning new things, learning subjects still. For someone like me, thinking about video ideas, general thoughts, journaling, day-to-day, day lists, you know, this is the one place for it. By the way, this is probably the first ever 360-degree video review. You know, it's probably not the best format for reviewing a product, but I want to do something a little bit different. So feel free to pan your phone around. I'm here in my living room on a Sunday morning. You know, as you can tell by the tilt, these are my colors. This is me in my natural habitat. So feel free to tilt the phone around, your device around to get a few natural view. But I also want to just give a realistic view of how I use this as well. You know, on a day like this in my recliner chair, writing notes. Let's talk about the use case. You know, obviously I've got some notes, but I want to sometimes veer off of them. So this is good, again, for someone who writes a lot, but not just writing. This is also, you can also read on this, okay, which is great. So for example, I can navigate to my Kindle and I've got a book. So you can literally read, you can literally use this as a Kindle, which is awesome as well. And, you know, it has that Kindle display with no backlight, so it's not going to strain your eyes. You know, it's kind of like natural paper. You know, so you write on it, you can read on it, and it also syncs with the cloud. So all the notes that you have on here, you can see on your phone or your computer and stuff like that. You know, it's just great all round. Let me go back to the notes that I had for this video. And the reason why I like to review or bring these tablets to the forefront in my videos, like the last one I did on Remarkable 2, is because I think that yeah, it's just a very useful tool that a lot of people don't know about. I think a lot of people, their experiences with anything like this comes from tablets and styluses or styli, right? And like me, for example, I used the Samsung Note for a long time because I really valued the S Pen. You know, I recently had the Folds because of the S Pen, but I've returned that back. And it's because really the S Pen becomes unusable because often, you know, you look back at your writing and it kind of looks like a 6-year-old did those writings or those scribbles. You know, it doesn't give you that sense of joy that comes from writing a lot. You know, you want to see that your handwriting is neat, you know. And on these tablets, you get that, you know, you get that one-for-one, very smooth writing. So let's actually go through some of the pen options available. So you can hide the sidebar, but now I will reveal it. Another thing about these type of e-ink tablets is that it's kind of slow. It's not like your fast mobile phone and stuff, but that's okay because this is a different device. So for example, here we got needle point pens. You can do it at different points. So if we go to the thickest at 2.0, for example, it can look like this. If we go to the thinnest, which is 0.1, it will look like this. Okay, we got, let me bring it closer because I'm not sure how these 360 lenses are. We got ink pens and we can do it at different kind of gradients of black. So a light gray to a dark gray. We've also got markers. So again, like you're reading, mark areas that you're interested in. And talking about marking, there's also some smart features on this that makes it easier for you to go back to these interesting points that you've marked out. You know, for example, once you use the lasso tool, you can attribute this, for example, to like a keyword or like a headline. So some places where you can just quickly jump to, you know. And the lasso works great because you can move things around. You can copy and paste it into other pages. You can resize it, make it bigger, you know. But yeah, you got your erasers. And the pen I got is the clicking one. This is a ceramic pen. So actually the nib, which is something that I found to be a problem on a Remarkable 2, the nib won't wear down on this one because it's ceramic. So you can always use it, you know, and it clicks in and out so you can protect the nib even further. Right, you've also got different templates, and this is something that this is really a big highlight for me when it comes to these tablets, because I like a good range of templates, you know. So the normal templates, for example, you got grid lines. If you're doing math or something like that, you got, let's see, you got some journal-based ones, like a calendar, you know, you got your day, week, but I've also got, you can also add customized ones. So I got this great one, which you actually buy from Etsy. And actually, let me see if I can find one that's already open. Obviously, things will get blurred out if it's a bit too personal, but I want to show you how good this is. So for example, this is a day notes template that you can buy. So important task notes, schedule. But the good thing about these notes is that they're also smart. So you see how I just pressed to go to extra notes? It's giving me the extra note template. And you go back to daily notes. You know, you go back to the original page, you know. But basically once you download all the sheets, it becomes smart. Right? So meaning you can jump to a different time where you mark something on June the 19th, for example, and then come back to September, I don't know, 19th, write something here, go back to June the 19th, you know, and the scribble is there. You can, I know it's a light pen, but you know, so it just basically means you don't have to scroll to, you know, to some future point. You can even press the date. So I hope you can see this. So we go back to the 20th, go back to the 19th, 20, you know? So there's just so much potential in terms of templates and the customization as to how exactly you want your notepads to be. You know, a digital notebook. Let me see if I can show you at least one page. So again, not the fastest, but to be honest, it doesn't have to be the fastest. I think with tech today, we're so obsessed with speed, you know, millisecond speed, but this is, I would call it a flow device. This is something that isn't about instant gratification. It's about relaxing, thinking, and planning. So here, for example, we have a notebook, and see here you can put entries, and then when you actually go to the, you know, and these entries act as an index, so you can always flip to the page based on the subject of the header, you know. So just a lot of use for this, especially if you're the type of person like me, for example, when I go down to TK Maxx or some random kind of shop like that, I'm typically buying a new notebook. I'm looking out for a good notebook with good pages, good paper that, you know, I can use, that will further enhance my ideas and where I place my thoughts. So let's go actually to a few product specific stuff like the price. The price I got this for is, I'm gonna put it on the screen. It's gonna be in crazy bold 360 writing, probably to my left somewhere, or span around. I'll put it on the screen what the price is, but I paid for this with the pen and the folio for just under £400. Okay, that was the deal I got. So for some people, I know that is expensive, and it is expensive, but I think for someone like me, it's quite worth it. A little stain there. You know, it's very good, very thin, very light, very usable. Pick up and play type of thing. The battery life lasts very long. I would say, I don't know, I've had this uncharged for about 3 days and it's at 45%, which is good. And it's got the Wi-Fi on, which you don't need to have all the time. But yeah, the price is high, but I definitely think it's worth it. You know, this type of technology, very useful. Again, it's not like a shoddy iPad where, you know, that's probably more for drawing, right? Where this has a real paper feel that makes you enjoy what you're doing. You know, hopefully you can pick up, let me bring it close to the microphone. Hopefully you can pick up how it sounds. You know, and it also has a dedicated drawing app as well, which you just have to download. And with that app, you get more utensils like a pencil, you know, different thicknesses, you know, so you can see I'm going lighter and it's going lighter, and I'm going harder, it's going harder, you know, and again, it feels like paper, you know, feels just like paper. Let's go into some pros and cons. So the pro for this particular device, the Supernote Nomad for Nomadic A6 X2. So when I say A6 size, it's probably about half A4 perhaps, right? For me, some people say it's not big enough, but for me it's perfect size for journaling and note taking. You can always, you know, go to make new pages by simply swiping. So the size is a pro for me. Obviously not pocketable, but very useful, usable, pick up and play type of device. The feel, very good. Again, very light. Feels like paper, you know, and it really doesn't feel delicate, even though it seems kind of delicate, but it feels very high quality. You know, everything works as it is, as it should. And the organization, I would say standard templates, but again, you can customize, make your own. You can literally scan a sheet, so you can find a notebook like you like. If you like the layout, the template, scan it. You can import it as a PDF and you can use that as a background template. You know, organization is as you would expect, folders, nothing too crazy. You know, there's no home screen, so you have to depend mostly on swiping down to jump to like quick access folders and stuff like that. And obviously the fact that you don't have to use paper, you know, which is the biggest thing. I've got tons of notebooks. I've got massive diaries that are the A4 heavy type that, you know, to review, I need to go into, you know, firstly bring out from where I've archived them, bring out, read into. Whereas this, obviously, I can go back to year 2020 and see the notes in that year. You know what I mean? And another benefit again is the Kindle experience. Okay, using this as your Kindle, as a book. You know, very straightforward. It syncs with your Kindle account. If like me, you've got that, is it Kindle Premium, where you can get any book for a cheap price. You know, very usable. And again, coupled with the long battery life, it just feels like a product that you'll just have no problem using. You know, there's an ease of use. You're not worried. It's not like your phone where you're worried about charging, all these micro faults that might interfere with your writing and stuff like that. Cons, I would say, yeah, it's still a niche product. You might not be too impressed with the kind of black and white monotone look. I know there are colored ones now, but again, on this type of background, the colors are going to be muted. So is it worth it? Well, that's up to you. I know some people read comics on these, they appreciate the colors. So you might think, for the tech, is it worth it? Yeah, the price is quite high. And the size could be a con because, again, if you're an artist and you rely on bigger layouts, you can make it landscape, right? If that helps. You can scroll down. But yeah, for artists, maybe architects, engineers, maybe it's a bit too small for you guys. Again, with the tech, no backlight. So that means that if this room was dark, there won't be no light, so you won't be able to see at nighttime, which for me, I think is a good thing because it replicates a real paper reading experience. You know, there are a few peripherals you can buy that will attach to USB-C, so like a light if you want it, but for me, it's not a con, but it could be a con for some people. So yeah, I just really wanted to bring this type of tablet, like I have done many years ago, to the forefront of people's minds. Again, as an introvert focused channel, I really do believe that journaling thoughts is very key, right? It's imperative actually to transmit those thoughts into reality, you know, and this tablet really delivers that, really makes that a possibility. You know, another good thing is you might get some artifacts in the back. You know, simple refresh will do it. You know, I think when it comes to day lists, general thoughts, daily diary entries, monthly plans, weekly plans, brainstorming, work and business, diary, art, a product like this is very much worth it in my opinion. And I think you should look into getting this, the Nomad A6 X2. There is an A5 version coming out. I think it's supposed to come out this winter. Supernote, hook me up if you want me to review that in 360 degrees as well, and I'll do that. But yeah, guys, what do you think of this tablet? What do you think of its usefulness? Would you get one? Is it too pricey? Is it too small? Is it useless? Or is it useful? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And that's my review of the Supernote A6 X2. I'll catch you in a bit.